to a vast, previously untapped pool of human talent and ingenuity. Think of a brilliant graphic designer who can now directly translate their UI/UX visions into functional, interactive prototypes without needing a developer as an intermediary, or an artist building complex interactive installations without touching a line of code. Imagine entrepreneurs bringing unique business concepts to life as functional apps, or specialized domain experts, say, a botanist or historian, creating highly customized tools for their field, tools that precisely meet their unique needs, all without a prior coding background. It empowers anyone with a brilliant idea, removing the technical hurdle that once stifled so much innovation.
So picture this. You have a groundbreaking idea for a hyper-local community app, maybe designed specifically for local artisans, connecting craftspeople with buyers in a really unique way. In the past, if you lacked programming knowledge, that inspired idea might have just stayed as a concept in your head. Or you'd face the daunting task of finding and funding an expensive developer. But with vibe coding, you can sit down and directly translate your vision into a functional, tangible prototype. You can describe the features you want, outline the user flow, explain the necessary data interactions directly to an AI. This shifts the entire focus away from how to build all those technical implementation details that were once so intimidating and squarely onto what to build. The core problem you're solving, the unique value you're creating, it empowers the visionary, not just the coder.
Absolutely. And that profound shift, that removal of the technical burden, has an equally profound impact on creativity itself. When the technical hurdles are significantly lowered or even completely removed from the initial creation process, people can focus solely on the problems they deeply want to solve and then the innovations they genuinely want to bring to life. They can leverage their unique insights, their specific domain knowledge, their individual creative sparks without being constrained by technical limitations. This phenomenon could very well lead to an unprecedented wave of creativity, resulting in a proliferation of highly niche, incredibly user-centric applications that might never have seen the light of day if they depended exclusively on traditional development methods. It's about unleashing the full spectrum of human ingenuity, allowing ideas to flourish based on merit and vision rather than just technical prowess.
Okay, so for those of you eager to dive in and try this for yourselves, to really feel the power of vibe coding firsthand, what's the simplest, most accessible way to start? The excellent news is you can begin your journey right away using readily available large language models, LLMs like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, or others. These powerful AI tools are your immediate entry points into this exciting new world of natural language-driven development.
That's absolutely right. And the core skill to cultivate here is learning how to craft effective coding prompts. You start, as you might expect, with a basic instruction, something straightforward, like build a simple to-do app for me. But then immediately you need to add nuance, specificity, detail. What makes a good prompt? Well, it's about clearly defining your overarching goals. I need an app that helps me manage my daily tasks efficiently, prioritizing what's most important. It's about specifying your desired features. It should allow me to add new tasks, mark them as complete, and easily filter them by priority level, like high, medium, or low. And critically, it's about outlining the desired user interactions. When I click Add Task, a pop-up should appear where I can type the task name and then select a priority level from a drop-down menu. The clearer and more detailed your prompt, the better and more targeted the AI's initial output will be.
Right, this highlights a crucial point. It's not a one-shot command. It's not like you just say, build an app, and poof, it magically appears, perfectly formed, ready for launch. Instead, you're initiating an ongoing conversation. Think of it much like you would with a human apprentice or maybe a junior developer you're mentoring. You give an initial instruction, then you provide constructive feedback on their first attempt. You refine your request based on what you see, and you add more detail as the process unfolds. It's truly a dynamic, continuous dialogue that shapes the final product.
That iterative nature is the very essence of vibe coding in action. It's the secret sauce that makes it so powerful. The core loop, as our sources suggest and as practical experience confirms, is basically iterate, test, give feedback, refine. Let's break down each step in a bit more detail because understanding this cyclical process is absolutely crucial to your success with vibe coding. First, iterate. This means taking small, manageable steps. Don't try to build the entire complex application all at once. Seriously, don't. Instead, focus on building a small foundational feature, get that working correctly, ensure it meets your vision, and then move incrementally to the next. This prevents overwhelm and allows for constant course correction.
Okay, so small steps. Makes sense.
Second, test. This is absolutely critical, and its importance cannot be overemphasized, especially with AI. The AI can generate code with astonishing speed, but you, the human, must meticulously verify its functionality. Does it do exactly what you intended? Does it handle different inputs correctly, including those tricky edge cases? Does it perform as expected under various scenarios? Human testing remains paramount to ensure quality, accuracy, and a positive user experience. The AI generates, but you validate.
Right, the human is the quality control.
Exactly. Third, you give feedback. This is precisely where the vibe truly comes into play. It's conversational, natural language. You're not writing formal bug reports with line numbers, you're communicating intuitively. You might say, that submit button should be green, not blue to match your brand guidelines, or please make this entire section scrollable because there will be many items displayed here. Or even, can you add a confirmation step before a task is permanently deleted just to prevent accidental data loss? It's your guidance, expressed in the most natural way possible, directing the AI's subsequent actions.
So it's like talking to a collaborator.
Precisely. And finally, refine. Based on your conversational feedback, the AI adjusts, corrects, and improves the code. This continuous agile loop of generating, testing, guiding, and adjusting is what makes the entire vibe coding process so incredibly efficient, flexible, and ultimately effective. It's a dynamic partnership where the AI handles the heavy lifting and your human intuition guides it towards perfection.
And to use another analogy for you, maybe think of it like sculpting with clay, but at hyperspeed. You start with a general shape. That's your initial prompt, perhaps telling the AI, I want a human figure standing tall. Then as the AI quickly forms a rough shape, you continually add clay here, remove a bit there, smooth out imperfections based on your evolving vision and what you see taking form right before your eyes. You might say, make the arm slightly longer and more muscular, or sharpen the jawline to give the face more definition. Maybe add more intricate detail to the fingers and hands. It's a truly dynamic, highly creative process of continuous adjustment, a conversation between your artistic intent and the AI's generative capability until your vision is fully realized.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, but what does this all mean for the downside? Every powerful tool, no matter how revolutionary or beneficial, comes with its own set of considerations and potential challenges, right? And vibe coding is no exception. With AI-generated code now becoming so prevalent, security is indeed a major concern that demands our attention. Our sources highlight a crucial and very real risk, that AI might introduce bugs of vulnerabilities into the generated code base. This isn't just a hypothetical problem, it's a very tangible challenge that we as users and developers need to understand and address head-on to ensure the integrity of the applications we build.
It's an absolutely critical point, yes. And understanding the why behind this risk is essential for anyone embracing vibe coding. AI models, by their very nature, learn from vast data sets of existing code from countless sources. Now, while much of this code is well-written and secure, these data sets can also contain imperfect, suboptimal, or even previously compromised code from real-world applications. The AI, in its eagerness to fulfill a functional request to make the app work, might inadvertently prioritize generating working code over strictly adhering to stringent security best practices. It might not fully grasp the complex context of a system's overall security requirements, leading to subtle but potentially dangerous flaws.
Like what kind of flaws are we talking about?
Well, for instance, an AI might generate code that processes user input but doesn't include robust input validation. This could potentially open the door to a SQL injection vulnerability. That's like a hidden command being snuck into a database query, allowing malicious data or commands to be inserted, potentially leading to data theft or corruption. Scary stuff. Or it might generate code that handles sensitive user data without proper encryption or access controls, simply because it wasn't explicitly told to implement them, or maybe the patterns it learned from lacked such safeguards. Another example could be cross-site scripting, or XSS, where an attacker injects malicious scripts into web pages viewed by other users. Think harmful code hidden in a comment. Or cross-site request forgery, CSRF, which tricks a trusted website into performing an action on your behalf. These subtle flaws aren't necessarily introduced by malice on the AI's part. It's often a lack of nuanced understanding of the deeper security implications beyond just simple functionality. This raises a really important question for all of us. In a world increasingly reliant on AI-generated code, who ultimately bears responsibility for its security? It's definitely a shared responsibility, but the human role in oversight remains absolutely paramount.
That's a huge and complex consideration. It really raises an important question for all of us stepping into this new paradigm. So given these potential risks, what are the crucial tips, the actionable strategies that we can adopt to mitigate these security concerns effectively? Our source material provides clear, actionable advice on this front. Always review, test thoroughly, and use context-specific behavior.
Yeah.
These might sound like basic tenets of good development that have always existed, but they take on a new, heightened significance with AI-generated code, don't they?
They absolutely do. Let's break down each of those mitigation strategies into concrete, actionable advice for you. First, always review. This emphasizes that human oversight is not diminished or made less important by vibe coding. Rather, its nature is profoundly shifted. Developers and creators become auditors, critical reviewers, and security architects. This means understanding not just what the AI-generated code does functionally, but critically assessing how it does it. You need to proactively check for common security pitfalls that an AI might overlook, like insecure direct object references or potential XSS, CSRF, or injection vulnerabilities we just discussed. You, the human, become the ultimate quality gate and the final security checkpoint. It's about intelligent scrutiny.
So the human becomes the security expert, in a way.
In many ways, yes. Second, test thoroughly. This goes far beyond basic functional testing, just checking if buttons work. While functionality is key, thorough testing for AI-generated code must also include rigorous security testing, think penetration testing, where ethical hackers try to break into your system, and automated vulnerability scanning to find known weaknesses. It also means comprehensive edge case testing, what happens if a user inputs unexpected or malicious data. Does the system break or handle it securely? And performance testing, does the application remain responsive and secure under heavy user load? The sheer speed of AI code generation makes it even more imperative to have robust, automated, and manual testing pipelines in place to catch any issues quickly. Don't assume the AI is perfect. Assume it's a brilliant but sometimes naive apprentice.
Okay, review and test. Got it. What about context-specific behavior?
Right. Use context-specific behavior. This is about being incredibly explicit with the AI, providing it with sufficient and precise context about your application's specific security requirements. You need to outline the sensitivity of the data it will handle, clearly define different user roles and their permissions. For example, instead of just vaguely saying build a user login, you would specify implement a user login with strong password hashing using bcrypt, integrate multi-factor authentication via TOTP, and ensure that all user session data is encrypted both at rest in the database and in transit over HTTPS. Or if you're building a form, you'd explicitly prompt implement strong server-side input validation on all user-submitted fields to prevent XSS attacks and SQL injections, and properly sanitize all output before rendering it in the browser. The more specific your security prompts are and the more context you provide about the security landscape, the better and inherently more secure its generated output will be. You are essentially teaching the AI your security requirements.
That makes a lot of sense. Be explicit about security. This all powerfully reinforces the idea that while vibe coding can dramatically accelerate development speed and efficiency, the human role, it actually becomes even more critical, doesn't it? Especially in quality assurance, ensuring robust security, navigating ethical considerations. It's not about the AI replacing human ingenuity. It's a powerful, dynamic partnership. Human critical thinking, deep understanding, responsible oversight, balancing the AI's generative power. It's about working smarter with the AI, leveraging its speed and scale rather than just passively letting it do all the work. It truly elevates the human role to one of strategic guidance and ultimate responsibility.
Couldn't agree more. That's the key takeaway.
So we've taken a really comprehensive deep dive today into the incredible transformative potential of vibe coding. We've explored the astonishing ability to build entire applications simply by talking, by guiding an AI partner with your natural language. We've seen how this paradigm shift, born from Andres Karpathy's visionary insight to forget that the code exists, is already fundamentally transforming the real world. From individual projects like Minigun, which Karpathy himself built, to the staggering reality that a quarter of Y Combinator startups now operate with predominantly AI-generated code bases. And we've illuminated the immense benefits, the unprecedented speed increase, making development 25% faster, and its profound power to democratize programming for absolute beginners, unleashing a whole new wave of creators.
And while this future is undeniably exciting and brimming with potential, we've also hopefully equipped you with the essential knowledge to approach it responsibly and effectively. It's important to remember, it's not a magic bullet that solves all problems automatically. It requires critical human engagement, continuous human review, thorough and multifaceted testing, and a conscious, proactive approach to security. This deep dive has aimed to equip you with the foundational knowledge to not only explore this new frontier of vibe coding, but to do so confidently and responsibly, maximizing its extraordinary benefits while intelligently mitigating the inherent risks. The power is now truly in your hands, or maybe in your voice.
Here's where it gets really interesting as we look ahead, though. If artificial intelligence, guided by natural language, can now generate 95% of a complex code base, what does that truly hold for the future of human creativity and coding? Does it free us, the human creators, to innovate in entirely new, previously unimaginable ways? To focus solely on the truly unique and complex problems that demand our specific intellect? Or does it fundamentally change what we even consider coding to be, perhaps shifting the definition entirely from typing syntax to crafting intent? What do you think?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It really raises an important, maybe even philosophical point for everyone passionate about creation. As AI takes on more and more of the implementation details, the syntactic heavy lifting, where does your unique value, your distinct human touch, your irreplaceable creativity truly lie in the software creation process? How might your own relationship with technology, with problem solving, and indeed with innovation itself transform as these powerful AI tools become even more prevalent and sophisticated? It's a future worth pondering deeply, and perhaps a future that you yourself are now equipped to actively shape.